day so far. It's great. If you look at the list of women that have been honored, it's an incredible list to be a part of. I did sign the wall, and I signed it next to Helen Mirren, and I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, it was great.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Follow-up question, given all the controversy surrounding the event previous to this, and now that we know that women will be allowed to audition for the 2019 performances.
Clarify, not just audition, will be accepted into.
Thank you, because I've been wondering. So before they were allowed to audition,
Correct.
But they were never casted.
Correct.
Are they committed to casting
Yes.
women this time?
Correct.
Okay, great. So how do you feel about that?
I'm here. I wouldn't be here otherwise.
Was that one of the stipulations?
It wasn't a stimulation. It was just something that to me was very important. And I think that, to clarify, this is something that this program has always wanted to do. It has nothing to do with me or today. It simply is something that was going to happen inevitably. To also clarify to the Boston Globe, if you're going to ask somebody to not show up, it's a pretty weak stance to take. And if you're the reporter that wrote that article, the smarter thing of me to have been asked of me would have been to take a stance. Backing down is not taking a stance. And so the one thing that the reporter failed to report on is the fact that most of Hasty Pudding is women. They're just simply not on stage. And the one thing that people didn't realize is there's 12 performers on stage, but there's 48 other people that are putting the whole show together. And a lot of them are women. And so this production has been forward-thinking for many years, for decades. This was inevitable. It was gonna happen. But again, to the reporter, if you're gonna report, do it properly. State that most of the production is female. It's not a male-driven organization. It just so happens to be, historically, that the men on stage were men.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, so my name is Mark Shanahan, and I'm a reporter with the Boston Globe. And I didn't write the column to which
I know you didn't.
Okay, so but that's fine. Bigger picture,
Yeah.
you talked about Year of Change. You're somebody who has actually written and talked about sexism in Hollywood before.
Equality in the workworkplace, yeah. Sure.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
A lot of folks who are now talking about it, you were doing it before then. Can you talk to me about whether you believe that the Year of Change will, I mean, I guess you're probably optimistic, but what do you think in terms of like lasting change?
Oh, I think it's happening. There's no question about it. I think it's already happened. I mean, look at this tradition that's been around for 100+ years. Today it changed. It's happening. There's no, it's, you know, I think that things get murky in movements and things get conflated. And I think the one thing that none of us want to lose sight of is putting women in a higher position in the workplace will change the world. It has been statistically proven. And as long as we keep that moving forward as our #1 position, and that's, you know, then everything will happen. But I do believe in this movement, and I do think that it's making strides in the right direction.
Next question.
Hi, okay, to lighten things up a bit, you're in New England.
Please.
You're in New England territory, but please answer as honestly as possible. The Super Bowl, who are you rooting for? Eagles or Patriots?
How dare you?
Sorry. Lisa's not.
Look, my team didn't do so well this year. In case you're wondering, it's the Chicago Bears. It's been, yeah, well, your face says it all. You and I both, not that great. Tom Brady, arguably the greatest quarterback, right? So congratulations.
Not picking a team?
One of my best friends is from Philadelphia, so I'm not gonna pick a team, but it'd be nice to see the Eagles go all the way. Again, Tom Brady, congratulations, you're awesome, and you played with a lot of stitches. So, you know, you're great. We know you're great. You've showed us for 3 years. You're pretty damn great. Yeah.
That was very diplomatic of you.
Was it though? Because I
Very
feel like you
diplomatic.
can tell which team I wanted to win.
You said you wouldn't be here if the change wasn't underway. Were there previous conversations? Did you know about this before you walked in the room?
You know, it's, yes. I mean, yes, I knew that this was going to happen, a version of this, and I knew this was something that's been talked about for a long time. And and just so that everybody's aware, the kids, and by the kids I mean everybody in the Hasty Pudding, has been trying for years to make this happen. And I don't want that to be taken away from the students, from the infrastructure, that they've been fighting for this, and they have wanted this, and they're the reason that this happened. Yeah.
I think we have time for one more question.
All right, changing the topic a little bit.
Yes,
so I did
go
some
for it.
research, but I also knew this. So your story began as an immigrant, and I kind of can relate to that. Your family came over to the U.S. from Ukraine with what, $200?
$250.
$250. Okay. My parents and my sisters came here from Vietnam with only $100. I'm just curious, like, have your story and your advice for immigrants, minority,
Oof,
it's a little heavy, I know.
No,
but
it's not. It's just I feel like we'll be here for an hour.
Yeah.
What's your exact question? Tell me.
My exact question.
What's my-
You moved straight to LA, so
Yeah.
what's your advice for young women trying to make it out there? It's tough. It's
It's hard. I mean, you can't argue it. I think being because it's such a weird time right now, but being from an immigrant family, I think anybody can relate. Your family ultimately never moves for themselves. They always move for their kids. I find that to be true for, I think, myself, and you can probably attest to it. Remember that. Just, there's always pressure put on the first kid, whether you're born in this country, or whether you're born in a different country and immigrant over. I was born in Ukraine. I came here when I was 7.5. There's, so to speak, a pressure about you so that it doesn't go in vain. Like, you don't want to fail your family, and I think that that's amplified when you're an immigrant. So my advice would be nothing will beat hard work. Always aspire to do better, and try to create something that's going to better someone else. And I think, I think most immigrants can relate to that, because you always want to better the world because your family bettered it or tried to for you. So I don't know. It's such a weird thing to answer considering today's time. Yeah, it's hard.
And we just have one question left coming in from online. And that is, if you could give a piece of advice to aspiring actors, what would it be? And that's from Ellie.
Aspiring actors, never stop being creative, never stop working hard, and always try to create something for someone else.
Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Mila.
for sure.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Bye, guys.